It's time for another episode of Vigor Warriors 2. And it's time for the Warriors to unite together again and again and again. Continue on, my friends, with battling this temptation, this world we're in right now that wants you to fail as a masculine man, and they don't want you to understand about using that superpower that we all have that we don't use. And this is what we're talking about in this channel. There's lots of other channels talking about this stuff. I know we're at 1%, but hopefully things will continue to grow and grow. Get the word out that men need to have self-control to be men. Not chasing women around, focusing on yourself, focusing on your goals, bettering yourself every day, and not worrying about women. Women are the last thing you should be concerned about. Even if you have a family, even if you have situations going on, the idea is that you're focusing on yourself. Obviously, you have roles to play. Responsibility is important for a man. A father, a boyfriend, whatever it might be. But don't confuse that with that higher priority, and that's God. And your goals for God and a purpose. God has blessed you with a family. God's blessed with a girlfriend. Those things are important. But don't forget that your major goal is to follow God's purpose, your Creator's purpose, through becoming the best person you can become. Everything else will fall into place at that point. All right, some great comments today as well. I've been reading through some of those, trying to scroll back the ones that I missed, and I appreciate all the comments. We've had a couple young ladies commenting, and I also appreciate that a great deal. And I welcome all men and women to the channel, as always, and I always have. I have the utmost respect for women, even though I talk about men 99% of the time. Utmost respect for women. I think women play a great role as a feminine, as a nurturing type person. They're as needed as much as men are. But men serve a different purpose, and we have to make sure we understand that. Men and women are very compatible and have done the right way. Both are submissive in their own ways. And that's what creates families and role models and a functioning type of family in generations to come. And that's important. Now let's talk about women one more time. I kind of do 3 or 4 of them in a row because so many people in the audience want to hear about this, and just thoughts and ideas because you're all dealing with this issue. And this is an important one. But I have to make sure I always kind of start by going back to the idea that women are not your priority. I know you want to talk about it and attract women and all that kind of stuff, but it's not the high priority. You should not be doing retention just to attract women. You should be doing retention to better yourself. The less you focus on women, the more women will be chasing you around. That's more of a psychology type of thing, but that's part of this energy we're talking about here. They're going to sense it. They will. And as we talk about this, I'm going to take the quote from Leo here. And Leo kind of talking about, I'm not going to do any shouts today. I'll do some more tomorrow. But so we'll continue talking about this now. So the idea that Leo's talking about, he says that women will get mad, but will come back. And that's very true, Leo. That's a great point, a very astute point. So what do I mean by this? Well, people will sense your energy. We go back to the basics again. Going back to Kelder's idea of the fountain of youth. As you're focusing on building your energy, we are made of energy. So then it's important to look at why does energy is created? How does it have higher frequency? How do you build energy? And so we build energy through the use of our chakras within our system. And if you believe in the chakras, you believe in brahmacharya, the Tibet tribe, all those things you're believing in, you'll know that when you speed of the chakras, you'll stay very youthful. And no matter how much your biological age is, if you continue doing the types of things to spin these chakras, you'll continue to be vibrant, vigorous. That's why I use the word vigor. Vigorous all through your life. And being someone who's going to be 62 years old in another week or so, a couple weeks from now, I feel like I'm 25 years old. And some of you guys have made some great comments, and I appreciate that. But it's not about me. It's about the ideas we're talking about here. And either any one of you, I don't care if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, or 70, can use this to be very vibrant your whole life. And when you're 20 and 30, it's even more so you're using it because you're going to have a tremendous amount of energy in yourself. And you're going to be able to do incredible things. And the more energy you have, the more you can transmute it. You become a man of high value. And I appreciate the women and the men who comment on this because it's important. Women are expecting this. Women want a man who is dominant. I know that's hard to understand in our society because we hear all this kind of stuff about men being sensitive, men being all this other kind of stuff. That is incorrect. What's correct is men need to be men and lead. It's so easy to fall into the pattern of the simple pleasures of, being secondary and putting a woman on a pedestal. 90% of the women do not want that for any period of time. They may want it for a short period of time, but no long period of time. They want a man who's coming in, who's going to be dominant and take charge. A lot of times they don't want to make any decisions at all. And the man has to make the decisions. So we talk about this idea here. This goes back into what Leo's saying a little bit. So when you see women in the workplace, in personal situations, on teams, whatever it might be, you're going to get a variety of reactions, warriors, from your energy and what you're doing. As some people talked about, you're going to get a lot of negative reactions. This may be an indication to tell you what type of people you've been dealing with. And now it's coming to the forefront because now you're showing all this energy, and these people are people you should not be doing things with. Now, it's hard if it's relatives, guaranteed that. It's hard. But you gotta circle yourself around people who are like-minded. You cannot be dragged down by people who are negative. They're going to drag you down. And I know I was there many times in the past. Find people who are going to build you up. Find billion people who encourage you, who understand what you're doing, and who also think in terms of what you're doing. They want to help you with your goals. Find those people. Those people are around. You just got to sometimes look for them, but they're around. Don't let people drag you down. Now, we talk about this. You're going to have some women who are going to get mad. A number of reasons, but two major reasons why this happens. One, they cannot handle the amount of energy you have. They're in a situation where they just can't handle it. And they get pissed because they know that you're a dominant person. And maybe 90% of the relationships with men, they've been dominant. The men can't look them in the eye. They cannot deal with it. But I've seen cases where women are like that. You look at them, you start dominance, and they start smiling. Because they see something that they should be normal with. And they need that. They don't understand it, but they get pissed off because they cannot control it. They cannot handle it. And the second reason is they may be in a situation, and I know we had an example of this before. They may be in a situation where they have a commitment. There are many times, warriors, you're going to be hit upon, or people are going to give you gazes, stare at you, come up to you, touch, anything. When they're married, they have boyfriends, all these things. This doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if they have a boyfriend, whatever it might be. Women will be attracted. They cannot subconsciously get away from a real man because there's so many, in this day and age, there's so few real men out there as warriors that they're going to be drawn to you. This society is not, at this present moment, pushing masculinity. It's the opposite they're pushing. And therefore, you're in high commodity. There is very few people out there. If you follow these type of things we're talking about, you're retaining, you're building your goals, you're focusing on yourself, you're not chasing women around, you have more women than you want. The question always goes back down to, however, what are you going to do with the women? What are you going to do in these situations? That's the key. And when you sit there and realize that you need to find the right type of woman to be with, that's going to help you with your goals, it's going to help you, then all of a sudden you look at this whole thing totally differently. You're not trying to chase every woman that comes along. You're not trying to simp for the woman and do anything they want because you're afraid of losing her. And that's what happens most of the time. People are afraid of losing people, and so they do anything. The best thing to do is just have no contact at all. If that person's giving you a hard time or they want to leave, let them leave. If they come back on their own fruition. And this is the key thing, my friend. They have to make that decision to come back. You got too many things going on in your life. You got no time to bother with people playing games with you. But if they're mad, they're probably mad for a number of reasons. They could also be mad because they're playing games. They're testing you. Or they're trying to figure out how to get to this confident man. Don't let it get to you, my friends. Do not let people make you mad and upset. Control, control, control. Look at things as an even keel. When a woman makes a joke or criticizes you, just kind of laugh it off. What does it matter? What do we care? We don't care. We're moving on to our next goal. We're moving on to the next thing we do. That's why we talk about high-level men. Have goals. They do things every day. They have set plans. They look at their goals. They look at what they want to do. They have a plan every day of their life. This is what I'm going to do today. This is the plan. They have no time to sit around and kill time. Killing time is one of the worst problems men have because then they get bored, and that's when they get into pictures, they get into other things. This is why high-value men go to bed earlier. They get up early. They have a plan for the day. So we look at women who get mad at you, and Leo's exactly right. Those women get mad because they know that you're a man. You're dominant over them. And you're showing dominance through the eyes, through the body language, right? Again, the eye contact's important. And for some of you young guys, if you can't establish the eye contact, look at their nose. Start with the nose. Look at the nose. Look at their face. But look at them so they know you're looking at them. And show that relaxed, confident attitude that you know you're dominant over that woman. That woman will then understand this, and 99% of the time, she's going to do one or two things. She's either going to become submissive and understand this right away, or she's going to get mad. She's going to get upset, and she's going to try to test you to see, are you really as dominant? Now, as Leo was talking about, but in the long run, if you handle it the right way, you'll see these women coming back. Now, once again, what does it really matter? Because the bottom line is, if this woman or girl is not in your goal setting, in your part of your life you want to be part of, then it's time to move on anyway. However, you'll see old girlfriends come back. You'll see old wives come back in some cases I've seen. Not my case, but in other cases you've seen that. I've seen it. Because the man has shown that they can deal with things on their own. They don't need women. See, so many people in this society now have labeled men as garbage, as this. They're weak. They can't do this. They're simps. All these names of men up there. And the bottom line really is, the focus is really focusing on men being strong. And if men are looked upon as weak all across the board, women have no respect for them. And the way you get respect back is to show them how dominant you are. You're the one calling the shots. If you like them, great. If you don't like them, move on. But they're not the ones. They may be giving you signals, but you're the ones calling the shots. You're the leader, and they're expecting that. They're expecting you. They're hoping you make a move on them, but you're the one that is the leader. You're the man, and that's important. So, Leo, that's a great point, and I wanted to kind of just emphasize a little bit that if you ever wonder why one minute a woman is mad and pissed off at you, and next minute they're coming back to you and they're trying to say nice things about you and be helpful and be nice, and all of a sudden, they're giving you love and affection, these type of things, because women have this basic instinct. They have an instinct of survival just like men. They have desires just like men. There's no difference. We're all human beings. But what they are is because physically they're not as strong. It goes back to the cave woman, caveman type of thing. If a cave woman has to protect herself, she has to really know whether this man is dangerous or not. And what she's trying to predict and trying to understand here is this man a real man that's going to be with me and protect me or help me? Then I'm going to test this man. So this is why you find women who sometimes, when you're looking them in the eye and dominant, they'll try to be dominant back. But you're too dominant. And they will know this eventually. Other women will just submit. They understand it. This is why you get some women who get mad at you, and some women will just be submissive when you do this. Now, the question again is, what are you doing with this? Does it matter? Because in most cases, you're focusing on your goals, and this should not matter in many cases. If you find the right kind of person, you want to settle down with the person, have a family with the person, that's great. But the bottom line really is, this is more for understanding. The understanding of the situation is that do not be bothered if women are upset with you. You're falling into the trap. If they're upset, they're going to be upset. Now, it doesn't mean you can't show any empathy, but men nowadays show way too much empathy. Don't focus on your goals. If you can help, great. If not, and you can give her some support, great. But don't be attached to the emotion. Stay away from the emotion. The emotions kill us all the time. Real men, men who are masculine, very rarely get emotional. Now, you may get excited like I do lots of times, but emotional is a little bit different. You're not letting your emotions dictate up here. Once again, the head is where the key is. Focus on the head and focus on the relationship with other people as you go along, and you'll find great success. All right, I'm going to stop it right here. Once again, Leo, great comment. I wanted to comment on this one. I know this is the second one I did today, but I'm going to try to do a couple of these of catching up and do some more as we go through. So, all right, my friends. I didn't do any shouts this time. We'll do some more shouts tomorrow. By the way, I did get some comments, and I'm going to focus on this a little bit. I'm going to start thinking about how to do this. The live stream, we're getting close to developing. I also got some comments about consulting, and I do this in other areas in communication, psychology, and businesses and all that. I'm thinking about how to do it with this one. Obviously, I don't have that kind of skill knowledge except from my own experiences, and so I'm thinking about how to set this up through what we're doing here. So hang loose with that one. We'll try to kind of figure out some ideas for that. All right, my friends, I'm gonna leave you for this one. We'll do another one next time. Until then, two things I always leave you with. One, every day is a new day to a great warrior. And number two, guys, don't forget, warriors, to continue to battle